Hey there, starlings. Welcome to my sector of the universe. This is Jess from Capella Wellness, here to help you step into your truth and start into your power. For those of you who've never been here before, welcome. Thank you so much for being here for the first time. For those of you who are returning, thanks for coming back to watch another one of my videos. I am grateful to all of you. As we go through this full moon and Sagittarius reading, I would greatly appreciate if you would illuminate that thumbs up button and share this if you want other people to benefit from the guidance given here, and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already so that you can get more of these videos when they come out. All right, guys, so we're going to look into, with this full moon in Sag, what is being activated for our highest good with the Sacred Geometry Activations Oracle. And then we're going to look into what we need to reflect on, what is being revealed, and what are we mainly letting go of as a collective. And when we're letting go of this thing or these things, we're going to see what is healing while we are letting go of this. All right. And we'll get some final guidance from the Archangels and our guides at the end. So first off, if you don't already know, with this full moon Sagittarius, it is occurring at 13 degrees of Sag at 8:42 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is 11:42 p.m. I'm sorry, 8:42 p.m. Pacific, 11:42 p.m. Eastern. I am on the Eastern Standard Time. And it just so happens that it's technically June 3rd as I'm recording this. And today is my birthday. So this very impactful, powerful full moon in Sag, the strawberry moon, is on my birthday. So this is exciting for me. So I'm curious to see what's going on today, but I'm open to anything and everything. So check to see where 13 degrees of Sagittarius is in your chart and what other planets, other aspects it's making. Now, the cool thing is, Jupiter in Taurus is conjuncting the North Node in Taurus. Okay, so this is pretty nice. And Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. All right, so check where your Jupiter is in your chart as well. So if you look at your Sagittarius at around 13 degrees, you could be releasing something that is very significant at this time, closing it out. You're looking at the bigger picture because that's what Sagittarius energy is. Sagittarius is the term or mantra, I perceive, okay? Jupiter is expansive, right? It's good luck, it's optimism, it's faith, it's spirituality. But it also helps us to look at the bigger picture, right? Let's not pigeonhole ourselves into certain things, especially when it comes to religion, certain beliefs. Some of you, certain beliefs are falling away at this time, okay? I know for me that is shifting. If you've been watching me for a while, look what I'm letting go of in my own channel, okay? I've evolved quite a bit, so now my readings are going to be evolved, and then this is going to change the dynamic of what I do for my mission work and on my channel and my memberships and all types of things. So I know for me, that's one thing that I'm letting go of. So you may want to look into where, as you're being exalted, you're elevating, right? And you're looking at your life, your belief systems, and saying, you know what? It just doesn't resonate with me anymore. It just doesn't fit the bill. When you look at things from a higher perspective, like the overall picture, you say, you know what? You know, I'm kind of been pigeonholing myself in this, or it's like, okay, I understand the purpose of what I was believing then, or what I was doing then, but now I see something different. I say, oh, well, if I look at this from a more expansive view, I'm going to benefit more from letting go of this thing and gaining more knowledge, gaining more wisdom, because Sagittarius is higher learning, right? It's looking into things where, as we're elevating, we're gaining a lot of this spiritual wisdom as we're evolving, learning, and growing. And when we do this, a lot more things start to fall away. So some of you might be very sensitive with the full moon here. You could be very sensitive with all full moons, but I know for me, my emotions have been fluctuating. And my vibration would go through the roof, and then like the next hour or something tries to come in to like bring it down. And right now, this full moon is exactly opposing my sun. So that explains a lot of things. So look also where your Sagittarius is. Sagittarius is opposite of Gemini, but look where, you know, what planets are opposite, or what planets or placements are in your Gemini sign in your chart. But with that, that's also seeing, we're thinking about changing our belief systems or expanding our belief systems, maybe incorporating different things, right? Gemini is the thought processes, it's the ideas, it is intelligence, right? A lot of you, your emotional intelligence and your divine intelligence, is what I'm being told, is elevating, okay? You're going to be getting a lot of downloads, a lot more of this wisdom that's coming from the higher realms. It's not coming from man, it's not coming from the earthly plane, it's coming from up there, okay? So as you're getting this stuff, you're expanding your horizons and you're expanding those belief systems so that you are able to tap into many different things. It's kind of like almost the Akashic Records, where there's all these different books and libraries and all these things, right? And you're tapping more into that, and you are becoming, what's it called? You're leveling up in a sense where you're becoming a more highly evolved individual. And we're always going to be doing this as we move forward. Okay. So, if you feel like there's a big thing that you need to let go of at this time, let it go. Go with the flow. Sagittarius is about going with the flow. And most of us know that with full moons, emotions are heightened. Your intuition is heightened. I'll be honest and say that, like today, I got really emotional with animals. I ran into a cat on my walk. I saved a salamander from my parents' shower because it was stuck in there. And I'm hearing the animals talk to me. And I know that kind of sound crazy, but some of you may already been experiencing this. And I'm tapping more into nature, into the animal kingdom, the animal world. And it's like I'm able to really connect with that part of this planet. And it's actually heightening my emotions, and it's making me more emotional these days. And I know even with that, my gifts are expanding with my ability to connect more with the animal world and the earthly plane, even with plants and things. So maybe that's happening for you. So if you feel like you're feeling a lot more emotional, don't beat yourself up about it. Let yourself cry if you need to. Let yourself just feel that. You may be frustrated or angry or maybe just highly sensitive. Don't think that's a weakness. It's a strength for you, okay? So again, look at the bigger picture as to, you know, why you're feeling these emotions, because they're there for a reason. We're not robots, okay? We're human beings. So we need to allow ourselves to feel that stuff, okay? So this is also because Sagittarius is mutable. Energies and emotions could be fluctuating, right? But as long as you don't wallow in your sorrows or wallow in the low vibrational energies for too long, you'll be better off, okay? It's okay to feel. It's okay to kind of like grieve or whatever. And if you're letting go of something that you've been doing for a long time and you believed in for a while and you know it's not for you anymore, release it. Because bigger, better things are going to be coming in, whatever this is for you, okay? See where your true place is in the world with your own individuality, okay? Ask yourself, how am I going to be really true to myself? What is in alignment with my highest good? What is tied to who I really am? Because some of you may be doing things where you may have been like looking at other people similar to work you do or your mission or your gifts, and you've tried certain things, and now that you've tried them, and you're saying, you know what? I've learned from this. I see the bigger picture. It's not for me anymore, and I'm letting this go. But now you've gained the wisdom and intelligence and you've mastered something for some of you. And now you're taking that mastery, those gifts, heightened gifts, that intelligence, that wisdom, and putting it into something else. That is going to be, like I said, it's going to expand more of your career, your work, your abilities, your belief systems. It's going to move you to the next level so that you're prepared for the next best thing, okay, in your journey. So again, ask yourself, how are you going to best be honest with yourself, true to your individuality, who you really are as a soul being, okay? This is also about being more honest with everybody else and the rest of the world. All right. This is a great time to slow down. All right. Stop moving so fast, slow down, and start really trying to perceive, right? Sagittarius is I perceive the depth of something, the meaning of something. Also, like the what's it called? Higher perspective, higher knowledge about certain things. All right. The breadth of a situation, the depth of the situation, and be mindful, okay, of unkindness, careless unkindness. All right. So that's like a shadow side to this. And also learn to have adventures in life more. Sagittarius is the adventurous planet, right? And also be careful of overindulgence in like overdoing things, like especially with your emotions and stuff like that. Like you become so highly sensitive that it's affecting you and everybody else around you. And it's kind of like, you know, there's projections that are happening between you and people because you can't keep your emotions under wraps type of thing. Again, there's a balance to everything. All right. So that's my intuitive guidance. I was not expecting that because that's what happens. I was not actually expecting to do a full moon in Sagittarius reading, honestly, because I usually leave these for my members who have my weekly astrology subscription as part of their membership. I will be doing a full moon in Sagittarius reading for people who are subscribed to my weekly astrology subscription, or for those who sign up for a membership or who already have a membership that includes my weekly astrology benefit. And that I am going to do the what's activating and what guidance is going to be given for each rising sign, along with what is going on in your connection with your person. Like the love piece of this is going to be in a separate reading if you subscribe to the weekly astrology subscription that I have on my website, capellawellness.com, underneath Capella memberships. Or if you sign up or you upgrade to a membership that includes the weekly astrology, okay? So there's going to be another full moon in Sagittarius reading for rising signs and for your connection with your person based on rising sign, all right? So we're going to look into, for the collective, what is currently activating for our highest good. Now remember, this is collective reading. Different things are going to be activating for you, other people that surround you. This is just to help give you some guidance, because it may resonate with you and it may not. You may have already released something. This may have already activated for you, but this is for those who are trying to work with these energies and to see what this moon in Sagittarius is doing here in our lives, in our journeys, and, you know, with our purpose. So we're going to start with what is activating for our highest good from a collective standpoint. Well, if we're talking about Jupiter being expansive and huge and big things happening, look at all the activations. You can't make it up. There's 4. Wow. It's the Merkaba, okay, number 32. The frequency of the Merkaba supports our ability to use our consciousness to traverse into other layers of reality and dimensions. It activates our access to our Akashic inheritance as well, merging the totality of our experiences into our present to serve our highest purpose. I think I was channeling something very similar to this. I talked about the Akashic records, right? The totality of our experiences into our present to serve our highest purpose. The Merkaba is actually what my statue of Archangel Metatron is holding. He is the Archangel of wisdom, of knowledge, and divine intelligence. All right? Works with the Akashic records here. He has the flower of life in his hands. The Merkaba is right there, what he's holding. That is what this is. This is the merging of the masculine and the feminine energies here, which activates this Merkaba. And this is where this expansion of consciousness arises, right? Our ability to use our consciousness to traverse into other layers of reality and dimensions, right? Again, this is part of like that higher learning, the bigger picture, the higher perspectives. I am hearing with this Merkaba, this is also talking about the union between masculine and feminine in the self for some of you, and others of you, this is the union between the masculine and the feminine when we're talking about counterparts, all right? We also have integration. The frequency of integration supports our embrace of every aspect of ourselves, allowing what we perceive as positive and what we perceive as negative to harmonize in a balanced symphony of life. What did I say about Sagittarius's mantra is I perceive, and here it is right there. Integrating into your belief systems, into your life, to have a balance between what you perceive as negative and what you perceive as positive. We all have very different viewpoints as to what is positive and what is negative, do we not? So we acknowledge this amongst ourselves. But at the same time, over time, this changes, right? This is part of that belief system. Okay, you know, this doesn't seem negative to me anymore, or this doesn't seem positive to me anymore, or this is now positive but it was negative. You see what I'm saying? This is also what you perceive as positive and negative within yourself, and integrating the two. That I'm getting like an energy of like embracing that shadow side. You may think something is negative about yourself that could be part of your shadow side, but at the end of the day, it still makes up who you are. I'm hearing like genetic makeup, like the DNA aspect of this, right? And if you see all these triangles, like this Merkaba has a whole bunch of triangles. I want to say this is a tetrahedron, no, or dodecahedron. No, I gotta count them, but don't quote me on that. But anyway, Trinity is what I'm hearing, right? Triangles, the Holy Son, Father, Son, Holy Spirit, Mother, Father. I'm hearing Mother, Father, and your child. That's what they're telling me. The cornerstone. Threes are about expansion, exploration. Okay, a triangle has three sides. All right, so next is the cosmic flower. The frequency of the, oh my God. He has the flower of life. That is the cosmic flower. You can't make this up. Which ties about everything that works together in unison, oneness, wholeness. The frequency of the cosmic flower activates a remembrance of the place we call home, the core from which we pour our magnificence out into the world. What is home to you? This is also like coming home to yourself. Knowing that you are this cosmic being, you're this cosmic flower. You start as this seed and over time you bloom, right? But this is not just like your usual literal flower, right? Because we see what flowers do, what plants do. But this is more about your soul expanding, blossoming with that enlightenment. I see the cosmic flower as the lotus, right? Coming up from the muddy waters and coming to the surface as this gorgeous blossoming flower above the water. After going through all that murkiness, all that darkness, all that unknown. Right? And no matter what happens, when we're expanding, when we're growing, we're evolving, we're growing more in faith, we're growing more in optimism. We are blossoming at the same time. We are elevating, we are expanding our horizons and expanding our higher intelligence, our higher knowledge to gain more of that divine intelligence. Okay? It's the soul growth of that inner seed within you, your soul, as that cosmic flower, right? And again, when it says, remember to the place we call home, home is where the heart is, but home is where God is. And God is omnipotent. God is, what's that word? Oh, it's not coming to me. Omniscient, whoever said that, thank you. And ubiquitous, but that's not the O word. But anyway, I think you guys know what I'm talking about. Omnipresent, whoever said it, thank you. But God is ubiquitous. right? We can call home any place we can call home as long as we know that God is there. Okay? And we will be able to still grow. It's like taking a particular flower that does not grow in a particular climate and being placed somewhere else where it should die. But that's not you. You will be moved from one place to another where you've grown in one place and then you move to somewhere else. But you will still flourish and thrive in that environment. It's like you take a tropical plant and put it in the tundra. Technically, in most cases, it will not survive. But you have the ability to do that. Sacral chakra. Where your emotions sit. This is where your creativity is. Being more creative, being more expansive with that. You know what? I really think that I can do something more creative instead of doing something more logical with what I'm doing right now, right? A lot of you are going to be more creative with your projects, even with your way of thinking, even with the way that you do your mission work, okay? The frequency of our sacral chakra, the orange flower of life, look, there's the flower of life again, supports our ability to flow with our desires and stimulates our creative power to manifest success and abundance in our lives. This is a misconception, everybody, when it talks about society says you can't make a business out of doing something creative. You can't make money out of doing something creative. You got to have a degree. You got to have some sort of specialty. You got to learn all the stuff that you learn from school in college to be successful, to have a beautiful life. That is false. We are being asked to tap more into the feminine energy of creativity and expansiveness and just like seeking those things that bring us pleasure. And when we tap into those creative talents, and I talked about this earlier, it was channeled before, we have the ability to create these incredible lives, right? We have more optimism in our creative abilities. And when we start tapping into that power, that, those abilities, we start to see what we can create. And as we're creating, because we're supposed to be creators, I'm hearing Tyler the Creator again. And I said this in one of my other readings or something. I think it was my weekly for this week. If you haven't watched my weekly for May 29th, I highly recommend you watch that. But, right, the creative power to manifest success and abundance into our lives. And Jupiter is the planet of luck and abundance. You can't make this up. Jupiter rules Sagittarius, as I said. Jupiter's trying to come in with all of these transits here. Tapping into our creative abilities. And learning how to manifest abundance from that. Because we can do that. But society, over the years, when we grow up, we're not taught this. I'm also getting a very strong download here about education. How a lot of the education that is taught to our children, it's linear. It's not expansive. Most of the time, there isn't that much of a creative process that is put into what we are taught. Like, look at mathematics. Okay, look, I'm a huge math nerd, by the way. Math was my favorite subject, and so was science. I'm going to put that out there. I love math. Like, I could do calculus and differential equation problems all day, every day. I'm not going to lie. That's my nerdy side of me. But they want me to put that card there because there's a big, big energy here compared to all the other ones, all right? What's being activated. I had a conversation with my son with this, by the way. This is why I'm bringing this up. My son was talking about, Mom, like when we do math, we're taught, okay, this is how you come up with the answer. And I know some of you probably have children who don't like to show their work and they get the answer, but they have a creative way of getting the answer. And sometimes they're saying, well, wait a minute. There should be thinking outside the box. There should be a different way to get to the answer. That is where creativity comes in. But usually in education, they're like, no, it has to be done this way, the logical way. Now, we do need logic. Again, there's a balance here, okay? But when we're looking at the cosmic flower and integration in the Merkaba here, all about the Akashic records, the expansiveness of the knowledge. Because remember, you cannot put God in a box. You cannot put divine intelligence in a box. It's always ever expanding. It's always ever growing. Where new things come into the world and we learn more about that. This is how we grow, learn, and evolve. So with education here and talking to my son, it's like I have no creative freedom in what I am learning. And sometimes in the classes that he has been taking, he has that ability to be more creative with learning history or civics or something like that. But some other classes, or it could be on the teacher too, they have it like, I'm hearing nonchalant, but it's more of like emperor, but the shadow side of the emperor, logic and discipline. No, it has to be this way. This is controlled. There is no creativity in mathematics. There's no creativity in physics, like those types of things, right? But there are certain gifted children who can see beyond this, okay? And this is also tapping in for some of you where it's like you're realizing the bigger picture. You know what? I can find a creative way to find this solution. I do not have to go to a self-help book. I do not have to go to my teacher and be like, okay, how do you solve this problem? Well, as for generations, we've solved this problem this way. This is where we are losing our religion in a sense. We're losing our intelligence because we're not tapping into that creative gifts, those creative gifts, the creative process. When we incorporate this into our everyday lives with everything, creative ways to find solutions, creative ways to help people to heal, to grow, learn, evolve, to teach others, that gives them the freedom to really come into their creative abilities, and it activates something in them. Oh, okay, well, this is how I view this. This is how I perceive this. We've been robbed of our creative process as we evolve as human beings. These transits are trying to get us to incorporate this back into our everyday lives. Okay? And there's also a strong energy about these colors. We've got green here, earth, heart chakra. We've got yellow here, solar plexus. There's also orange here with the sacral. The sacral's right there. The cosmic flower, which incorporates all the colors of the rainbow. Roy G. Biv, right? Maybe somebody's name is Roy here, something like that. If that your name's Roy, welcome. This is a big message for you. Anyway, I'm hearing Roy Disney. That's very interesting. Okay, Disney and the creative process. Just go look at what Disney's done. But anyway, that's just a story for another day. We've been robbed of our creative process. We've been told it has to be done this way. It has to be done that way. No, this is how it was always solved. This is how it's always been cooked. This is always how it's always been built. We need to start getting away from that. We all have the ability to expand our horizons. Again, Jupiter energy, Sagittarius energy. Have some fun with this too. Like go on this adventure and start tapping into what can I create? How can I do this differently? I've been perceiving things like this for so long, but this doesn't resonate with me. It doesn't fit with my so-called cosmic flower. It doesn't fit with who I am, the individuality of who I am. So let me tap into that and say, hey, let me just do this differently and see what comes out. Compassion is at the bottom of the deck. This actually came out in my Divine Masculine letter reading. The frequency of compassion supports our ability to stand by others without judgment and be the divine mediator between heaven and earth, spirit and matter, so that unconditional love can flow from source through our heart and into the world. Look at this. This is Christ consciousness. This is also what's fallen away. Having compassion for ourselves and others. Having compassion for others and say, well, you know what? You perceive this as positive, but I don't. Or you perceive this as negative, but I don't. It's like when I do my readings, guys, and those of you who've watched me. I'm pretty sure a lot of you have perceived that some of my readings are negative, but that's your perception. Because when it comes to me telling the truth, it's coming from God. It's coming through me out to you, but everyone has a different perception of what that guidance is and what it means to them. Now remember, you cannot have a negative without a positive, and vice versa. These so-called things we perceive as negative is maybe something we need to look at more expansively, if that's a word, differently. Okay? And say, is that really negative? Or is that triggering me to get me to realize something about myself? Maybe it's something I need to let go of. Maybe it's something that doesn't serve me anymore. And that perception of negativity is drawing me to release that. It's helping me to grow, learn, and evolve as a human being, as a soul being. Okay? And this is allowing everyone to tap into that creative process and not judging them with how they find solutions, not judging them with how they do their mission work, how they do their artwork, how they build things, how they, whatever it is. We have to allow all of us to tap into this, because there really is no right or wrong. There just is. Okay? And we can't be passing judgment on people when they say, hey, I found the solution this way. Well, no, that's wrong. It should be done this way. Like, again, with schooling. You can only find X in this way. For me, because I've been very blessed with a very brilliant mind, I've been able to find things with numbers in the universe and even with mathematics and finding different ways of getting to an answer that I was not taught. Okay? But I also end up finding some answer that makes way more sense than what is written in a book. It's like when I used to say, I'm going to give you an example. We have been taught 2 + 1 = 3, correct? Look at the bigger picture. If you're looking way outside the box, you can have 2 oranges plus 1 pair of shoes. How many shoes are in 1 pair? 2. So there's a possibility that 2 + 1 = 4. Does that make sense? Oh boy, I'm getting goosebumps. And people will say, you're wrong, Jess, because 2 + 1 is 3. But no, look at my creative process. And I used to think about this when I was a child, mind you. And I said to myself, wait a minute. What if we're talking about 1 pair of shoes? Because when we look at 2 + 1, 2 of what? 1 of what? Okay? Does that 2 of something actually exist? Is it a tangible thing or is it not? Right? Like I said, 2 + 1 could very well equal 4, everybody. If you're talking about 1 pair of shoes that have 2 shoes in them and 2 oranges. This is my point. Because this is the energy that is overtaking this, that's being activated. And we cannot be... You guys cannot tell me that I'm wrong. Because that's how I am thinking. This is what God gave me as a child. To look outside the box about what 2 + 1 is. Right? I will give another example because I have a nephew whose favorite color is orange. He is a brilliant child. All of my nephews are, to include my son. There was one time we were sitting eating lunch and he put, hey, Titi Jessie, because Titi is Tia, 2 + 2 = fish. Okay? And I was fascinated by my nephew when he said this, because I'm doing this for a reason. All right. 2 plus another 2. A backwards 2. I didn't draw it right, but you guys know what I'm trying to do here. A backwards 2, right? Equals what? Fish. 2 plus 2 equals fish. And you know what this represents? Pisces, Christ, consciousness. I don't write like that, but I'm writing really fast. When we're looking at Christ consciousness, I think some of us have forgotten that ties into sacral chakra energy, feminine energy, also specifically with the creative process. And not judging, right? This is compassion. I think I said Christ consciousness, did I not? You see how all this is tying in together? Not judging. I never once judged my nephew, and I got excited about it. I said, oh my God, my nephew just really went out there to outer space to realize this. And I think he was what, 6 at the time? 10 minus 2, 7 or 8. He wasn't even 10 yet. And I said to him, hey, buddy, that is brilliant. And we had this conversation. And I didn't look at him and say, you're wrong, kiddo. 2 plus 2 is 4. If you want to look at 2 plus 2, 2 pairs of shoes, 4, plus another 2 pairs of shoes, 4. 2 plus 2 could equal 8. But my nephew's like, hey, Titi Jessie, 2 plus 2 equals fish. But look at his creative process of seeing what he perceives 2 plus 2 as. This is what we are getting away from. And the math teacher will say, oh, you're wrong. There's 2 plus 2 has always been 4. Absolutely not. It depends who you ask. It depends where their brain is at. And then we start judging everybody because, no, it's supposed to be that way. You're supposed to live your life this way. This is how you make money. This is how you get abundance. If you manifest this way, if you have this job, whatever. Absolutely not. We need to have more compassion for everybody with their expansion of consciousness or their ability to creatively come up with things. But at the end of the day, they are doing something significant for the collective. You may not see that, which is why some of you need to really open up your hearts and your brains to really get the bigger picture of what that person or that child is trying to convey to you, what they're trying to do. Opening up your mind, which also ties into opening up your heart. Wow, I did not expect that to come through. Holy shit balls. Anyway, we're now going to look into... See, there's a reason why my nephew was teaching me this. I love talking to that kid because his imagination is brilliant. Like all my nephews, my son too. Like those boys in my family, they're very smart kids. I'm very smart too, but I feel like my nephews and my son, they're old souls and they're smarter than I am. The divine intelligence really is in them. So what we're going to look into right now is what we need to reflect on. So I'm going to use tarot for that. All right. So, man, my hands seem to be getting smaller. Holy Spirit, I was going to say Jesus. Jesus, help me out. Holy Spirit, Archangels, Galactic Families, Pleiadian Sirians, please reveal to us for our highest good. What do we need to reflect on with this full moon in Sagittarius? Holy Spirit, Archangels, Galactic Families, Pleiadian Sirians, please and thank you. Thank you for your wisdom, your guidance, your support, and your clarity, your intelligence. Thank you. More cards again. Oh boy. It's going to be a long reading. But this is necessary. The Page of Pentacles. Don't mind the light, because it's probably not going to focus well enough. There we go. We have opportunity. We need to reflect on those opportunities, sea turtles. Maybe significant to you or more people. We need to see other opportunities. We need to reflect on other opportunities that are being presented to us. And with this card deck, we see mermaids and sea turtles. And a lot of us are like, mermaids don't exist, right? But it's like, I don't know. Do they not? In somebody's world, they might. Pages about learning. Apprenticeship. Learning something new. Some of you may be getting a message of good news. Some of you may be getting exciting opportunities coming your way. And it's going to be like, well, I don't think I can do that. I don't think I can learn that. This is about like learning and growing, right? You start as this page and you lead up to the king. This is studying. Maybe some of you, it's going back to school or learning something new to add to your so-called resume, to add to your knowledge, your wisdom. Reflecting on all these opportunities that you had to expand your consciousness, to expand your divine intelligence, and to have more optimism in that. Like pages usually tend to have optimism. Why? Because they're children. They represent children. And this is going back into what I talked about with children. For some of you, this full moon and Sag thing is getting you to look at the bigger picture about what your child is telling you, what your child is learning, or how your child is learning. Some of you watching this have autistic kids. And I'm not downplaying this. This is my belief, guys, and I'm not trying to trigger anybody, but it doesn't matter if I do or I don't. Optimism, yes. Autism, see, optimism and autism, they go hand in hand. Autism is not a bad thing. It is not a learning disability. They are highly, highly evolved children. Rainbow children, crystal children, indigo children. I recently found out after talking to my sister, who happens to be a counselor, bless her heart, she has an autistic son. There is autism in my family. And when my sister talked to me, she goes, you know what, Jess, I started to realize you probably are autistic. And I am. But I was able to handle the world as a child growing into an adult more easily than some of my nephews and some of these other autistic kids. They're coming down to this earth with divine intelligence, with a lot of wisdom that a lot of adult humans will never acquire, or they won't be open to understanding. They have a very different way of looking at things, like 2 + 2 = fish. Because the systems they came from, the past lives that they were on, the other planets that they were on, it could have very well been that their culture, their Palladium system, whatever, I'm getting the Palladians here, were whatever wisdom they were teaching their children in the other star systems or whatever, 2 + 2 = fish. Or the other child said, no, 2 + 2 = this, right? 2 + 2 = 8. And all of them were like, you're right. Not right, but that is a great answer. That is a great answer. Not that, no, you're wrong, 2 + 2 = 4. All of you who say fish and 8, you fail. Some of you, you're dealing with children like this. Or maybe that was you as a child. And as you got older, people were telling you, no, you're wrong, no, you're wrong, no, you're wrong, no, you're wrong. No, it's got to be logical. No, it has to be done this way. And you lost all sense of creativity. So some of you may need to be reflecting on that. This is inner child stuff too. Going back to what you learned as a child and kind of reevaluating that. Or when you're going back to what you learned as a child, or what you were learning, or what you believed in then, maybe it's time to reflect on that. Queen of Cups, sensitivity. Okay, here we go with the sensitivity. See, they're sensitive. I'm talking about, there's a strong energy about autistic kids here. Autistic people. It's not just kids, there's adults too, because surprisingly enough, I am one of them. And I talked about my sensitivities, did I not? They are getting super heightened with this full moon in Sag transit. My moon is very close to my Neptune in Sagittarius. And people who have Neptune in Sagittarius are very highly evolved, very gifted, very intuitive and psychic people. Like, they are the depths of the ocean type of intelligence. But they're also highly sensitive, okay? I don't know if you can see that. There we go. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Mermaids again. There's something about mermaids. And you know what's funny? My mom was so nice enough to buy some stuff for my birthday. And she goes, what would you like? I said, anything with aqua in it, Mom. Fine. When I told her to find me a notebook, I said, Mom, if you find something with mermaids on it, with a notebook, let me know. She actually found mermaid plates for my birthday. And I was like, how fantastic is this? So I know this is a sign for me too. Okay. And mermaids may be significant for you. I'm hearing somebody's channel has, Mermaid Scales Tarot or something. If that's you, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. I feel privileged. Anyway, or some of you watch her channel. She's great. But anyway, Queen of Cups. What did I say about highly intuitive? Very gifted in the arts, with music. Very compassionate, very understanding, very nurturing. She doesn't judge others. She loves people for the way they are. She's also exceptionally creative. She's all about creation. Tapping into her artistic gifts, her musical gifts. Some of you need to be reflecting more on looking at sensitivity as being a negative thing. This is where we screw ourselves up when we're looking at kids, adults, whomever, especially men or boys who are sensitive. No, you're supposed to man up and you're supposed to act tough and blah, 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 blah. That is bullshit. Because we all have feminine and masculine energies, and any male who is strongly sensitive to things, to music, like me, I get very sensitive when I listen to different chords and melodies, and I will bawl my eyes out. Okay? Or I'll just tears will come down. I can't help it. That's part of who I am. Because I'm so connected to the angelic realm, because in the angelic realm, music is a big thing. It's a high frequency. So some of you need to really reflect on the sensitivities within yourself and being compassionate towards yourself because of that. And you being more compassionate towards other people who are sensitive. Don't look at them like there's something wrong with them, that they have issues. Some people think that very sensitive people have some depression, or they may have that, but it's like there's something wrong. It's like some people who are very sensitive to jokes. You say a joke and you might get offended by it because you may look at it as negative when the person who said the joke to you was just trying to be funny. And you may look serious, or you may cry, or you may get hit in the heart space. I took that as a hit. I took that as an insult. And you can't be jabbing these people. I was just trying to be funny. Now, you can say that, but you're like, oh, my bad. I didn't think that you were going to be sensitive to that. We have to have some compassion for people who are sensitive. Now, there is another extreme to this where if you're hypersensitive and every little thing gets to you, there's something that needs to be worked on where you can have tougher skin, where you can be a little bit more receptive to that and not allow it to affect your emotions, because the shadow side of her is she gets sucked up into drama. She's emotionally imbalanced, and she's just like overly driven by her emotions. Some of you may have strong water in your chart. She's so overly driven by her emotions, like she can't think straight. And then what happens is that she's overbearing, or she takes care of others too much before she takes care of herself. She may be mistrusting her intuition and not listening to it. Her heart's overcome with emotion. She cannot fully get the solutions creatively, or the downloads or the guidance from her higher self to properly process what her intuition is telling her. So we need to look into these things. There is a mother-son thing here, or a mother-child, or a masculine who's strong feminine energies. Maybe there's somebody here, or some of you, you're a single parent, or you have a child, and both of you could be autistic, or both of you are sensitive, and people around you haven't really had compassion for that. Or you could have been a child who was autistic or very sensitive, that type of thing, and they looked at you like you had issues, or especially if you were a male, that you had to man up or something, or you were gifted with creative talents and you wanted to study the arts, you wanted to study music more, you wanted to have a career in music and the arts, or whatever this is, some creative thing, and you were told no. And you were very sensitive to that, and that distorted you greatly. That affected a lot about you, where you shut down emotionally, kind of like became the King of Cups in the reverse. So there's something about either you evolved from this child into an adult where you're still sensitive or something, or you're a parent who ended up also having a child who was very similar to you. And a lot of people weren't having compassion between you and your child, because you're highly evolved beings and you do things very differently from the world, but people weren't having compassion towards you. And now we have, oh my God, the Eight of Pentacles. There's also strong Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces here, and Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. And remember, a lot of these transits are in Taurus. Eight of Pentacles. And I was talking about Pisces energy. What was I not with 2 + 2 = fish? This is achievement. The Eight of Pentacles. What you need to reflect on also is the inner work. Doing the inner work to be more in tune with your emotions, self-love, self-care, nurturing yourself. Being one with self. You're being what is going to make you best be true to yourself. Tapping into your feminine energy, whether you're male or female. Trusting your intuition. Allowing yourself to be sensitive. It's a strength, not a weakness. Your perception, reflection on what work really is, or some of you are in a job or doing something that doesn't allow you to tap into the creative process. That doesn't allow you to be free-flowing with the gifts that you have, that have nothing to do with a degree or what you were taught in school. What hard work are you really going to put into learning new things, learning how to be more creative, learning how to be more compassionate towards yourself and others, learning how to not be, chastising people for being sensitive, or chastising yourself, beating yourself up for being sensitive? What is it that you really value? This is looking at yourself for what you perceive as achievement. Is it the degree you hold? Is it the money you make because of the Pentacles, which talks about money? Is it about the status that you hold at your job, your title, the house you have, the car that you have? Have you really achieved something there? Or have you not? Because you're working a job that just like, it just pays the bills, but there's no flow. There's no creative process in it. There's no expansion of Christ consciousness. What are you going to invest more in? What are you going to really work hard towards? What are you going to stick to your guns with? This is being that page and learning how to build your craft and how to master it. Mastering your emotions also, which is why I talked about some of you let your emotions get the best of you, and it's like, everything is emotionally driven, where there's no bit of logic put into it. This could also be, they're having me look at the dolphin here. Dolphins are the messengers between the Pleiadian star system and the Earth. My favorite mammal happens to be the dolphin, and it totally makes sense why. This is also about being playful, tapping into your inner child, learning new things, or going back to what you love to do as a child. This is also about communication, learning how to communicate your emotions, being vulnerable and not being afraid of doing it. That is tapping into feminine energy. So what are you going to start working on to master these things? Redefining what you perceive as achieve. What is achievement? What goals are you going to set for yourself? The Page of Pentacles is also goal setting. Focusing on your goals, keeping your eyes on the prize, and working towards what you know what is right for you. What resonates with you, not with society, with you. And we have a tower here. Destruction. Being out to sea, then your boat, your ship gets hit by lightning and catches on fire. Oh shit, what am I going to do now? This is divine intervention. This is course correction. This is God coming in and saying, hey, we need to change your trajectory, collective. This is belief systems crashing down. This doesn't serve you. This belief system, this lifestyle, this way of living, the path that you're on doesn't serve you because you are not tapping into the creative process. You're not trusting your intuition. You're not tapping into those things that you really love to do that make you feel like the flow and make you feel emotionally balanced and just like, I love this stuff. She's got a lot of love for a lot of people and a lot of things. But she's also having compassion for herself when she realizes she really isn't happy with what she's doing and she's not trusting her intuition. And then God comes in with a tower moment and says, hey, like, you're not really in tune with your emotions. Or it could be about you're not allowing yourself to be sensitive, be vulnerable, or you're not taking care of yourself. You're not nurturing yourself. You're not being understanding of your sensitivities, what you really need, and you're not being understanding of other people, or either or. This is also a major shift for the collective happening with this full moon in Sag. And these North Node, Jupiter, and Taurus transits. This is God saying, hey, collective, what is it that I'm saying? We gotta get on this path of what the sacral chakra opens up for us. Something big is shifting for all of us. For a lot of you, it's tapping more into your sacral chakra. You doing things very differently because you're now trusting and listening to your intuition. And when people say you're wrong, when people say you're not supposed to be doing that, you're supposed to be doing things like the world does, what everybody else does, what I tell you to do, what I've learned, no. What I learned as a child, look, we have 2 pages here. There's something about 2 children. Children, again, tapping into your inner child as well, healing your inner child. But there's something about, no, I learned this as a kid. You need to learn the same way. This is the way the world works. It's not advisable to tell a child, especially if they're autistic, it has to be done this way. This is the way the world works, because it doesn't work for them. And this includes education. If you give the freedom for a child to sit there, hey, let's see what you do with this. It's like the sandbox. It's like giving them clay. Make me a flower out of the clay. And they make you a boat. And you're like, wait a minute, I said flower, but remember, the child is having a creative process. Maybe there's something with the boat that ties into the flower. You see what I'm saying? Again, when my nephew said 2 + 2 = fish, he would have gotten a big fat F in school, right? But is he wrong? I do not think so. It's how he perceives 2 + 2 to be. So there's a strong thing about belief systems, children's belief systems versus adults' belief systems, or what you thought was right for you as a child, and you're starting to realize, no, that doesn't fit with me anymore. It's not who I am. There's a lot of inner child healing that needs to be reflected on for quite a few of you. Some of you have already done this. Imagination. This is totally strong Pisces energy. Maybe you guys have strong Pisces in your chart. Or you're dealing with a Pisces. Page of Cups. There's the dolphin again. Playful. Having fun, tapping into your inner child. I talked about that with Sagittarius energy, having fun and having adventures. Kids love to go into adventures. They're very curious. They don't worry about what they're tapping into. They're just trying to, let me just go try this out. Let me try to learn something. Like, how can I, what am I going to discover? I'm hearing imagination like at that Epcot ride with Figment. I used to love that ride. Tapping into our imagination. We've lost that as we've gotten older. That's part of the innocence. It's part of the inner child. A lot of you have to do a lot of inner work and healing this inner child and getting back into your imagination, back into your dreams, like coming up with these crazy ass things that other people said was just not fathomable. It was just not possible. It wasn't real. It can't happen. But it can. Jupiter is telling us that it can be done. If you put your mind to it, if you believe in it, if you have faith in it with the energy of Jupiter. This is learning again. Creativity, music, the arts, doing something new with this. Trusting your intuition, the beginning stages of this. Understanding what compassion, unconditional love really is. Love for yourself, love for other people. I'm hearing having compassion for a child's imagination. Maybe it's even having compassion for your own imagination. Reflecting on those wounds that you need to heal, that were battered as a child. Especially if you wanted to do something creative, like play the guitar as your life's purpose, or like as your job, or like, you know, doing digital artwork, or you being a singer, or you doing music therapy, or you, I don't know what. It's like, she's a counselor too, by the way, but she taps more into the creative process as opposed to being a counselor based on what society tells her a counselor should be. That's for somebody here. Maybe there's something about counseling children for some of you. Maybe your mission's changing to do that, but I don't know. That could be for one person. But anyway, you had these dreams as a child. This is the Pisces card for me because of the fish. It's a mammal, but it's kind of like a fish, right? Page of Cups is the dreamer. It's strong Pisces energy. And Saturn's in Pisces right now. So Saturn is teaching us a big lesson about tapping into that creativity, the imagination. Probably even being more disciplined with tapping more into this energy. So there's something about, you had all these dreams and goals and aspirations, and they got squashed by society, by your parents, by whomever. You wanted to do something since you were a kid, and it was robbed of you. You wanted to do something creative, and it was robbed from you. This is getting back into loving what you used to do as a child. Reflecting on that. What are these wounds are you still carrying with you that is making you feel sensitive, making you feel like, I can't do that because my parents said no, I can't do that because that's not what society says I'm supposed to do. You're doing yourself a disservice. You're not being your true authentic self if you're holding yourself back from these dreams, from these creative talents, from doing whatever this is for you. And look what's at the bottom of the deck. We have almost all the pages, everybody, with the exception of the page of fire, the page of wands. Gossip. Oh boy. Page of swords. This is overcoming challenges. Some of you were mentally abused, emotionally abused. There's a lot of this. No, you can't do that. No, you can't pursue that career. No, whatever. You have to do it this way. You have to do it that way, whatever. There's strong energy of children here. There's a lot of mental, emotional abuse that I'm picking up on. Or just like being told, no, you got to do life this way. No, you have to, you can't tap into these things. You got to be an adult, right? You can't tap into your inner child. You can't have fun. You can't play. You can't go on adventures because you're an adult now. You got to do adult things. You got to go by the good book. You got to go by what the world says. No, no, and no. That is what distorts us even more. This is what brings us more into depression. This is what brings us more into anger, depending on how you respond to these things or react to these things. It stunts our growth. Thank you, Holy Spirit. And we get sucked up into that, locked up into that, where we can't grow, we can't learn, we can't evolve, and we're still standing there as these distorted children. And this Page of Swords is about learning, but it's also about speaking your truth and not being afraid of that you can overcome any challenge. You can pursue your dreams, you can pursue your goals and overcome those challenges and not back down when people say harsh things to you, when people are saying negative things to you, what you perceive as negative or putting you down, I'm hearing. A Page of Swords can have a sharp tongue. And there's a huge immaturity level here where they don't think before they speak. So this gossip card, some of you may need to be reflecting on gossiping about people. Oh, well, that person is like, they're too creative or they're too sensitive or they should be living their life this way, that way. And you're talking to other people about it or gossiping about other people's kids who have autism or gossiping about, I don't know what this is, guys, but if you're the one gossiping, you got to put an end to that. That is not a divine thing to do. If you're talking about other people's business or telling other people, oh, their child's doing this, oh, their child can't do that, oh, their child this, and this, their child's so sensitive, you know, especially if they're a male. They're supposed to be a man, but no, no, and no. And if you are hearing this gossip, do not add fuel to the fire. Do not join that crowd. That will come back to you. It will. And if somebody tells you something in confidence, don't be going around sharing their business with other people. Do you want other people sharing your business with other people? I don't think so. There's poor communication here. Some of you are getting caught up in like having to gossip about people that you know or family members or kids or children or whatever this is for you. Be careful with this. This is a big thing that some of you need to reflect on. I'm hearing watch your words and watch your thoughts. Because the universe is listening. God is listening. Don't think that whatever you're gossiping about or other people are gossiping about is just, it's not going to be heard by the person that they're gossiping about. God hears everything. Whatever information you acquire, this is acquisition of information. Especially if somebody is being open and honest with you and vulnerable and being truthful, because this is also being truthful about something about their kid or about their belief systems, or you share something with other people with your belief systems or whatever that is, and you start going around telling other people about it. Oh my God, they said this to me about their kid or about their belief systems or this, and that. And it's like, that's wrong. There's something wrong with that person. Like they're I don't know, they're going to fall apart or something bad's going to happen. Oh my God. Do not engage in this, please. Jupiter, the shadow side of Jupiter, is doing too much of something, and some of you are doing too much of gossiping, sharing information you should not be sharing, especially if somebody comes to you in confidence and is being vulnerable about something. That's going to come back to you for whoever you are. There's also a strong energy about reflecting on information that you get, perceiving information as negative and positive. Communication with your kids, whatever this is. Learning. There's a lot of learning here. Learning new things. These are the beginning stages. Learning something new, doing your research, looking up more information. Really getting down to the depth of something, the breadth of something, but doing this on your own. You look it up. You don't go, whoever this is for, you don't go around. Somebody gives you some information that seems challenging to hear, or you're like, that doesn't make any sense, or that's wrong. And you start telling other people about it without doing your own research, without like, I never heard of that before. Before I perceive it as negative or wrong, let me look it up. Let me do my own research and see, let me look into this. That is intelligence right there. You look it up first before you start sharing it. This is like discernment of information. This is also information you get from the world, the news, social media. This is a social media card. Be careful what you put out there, but there's also something about you needing to do some research first. There's also something about information coming in. There are a lot of messages coming in, a lot of downloads, like I said. But you may just be getting information from somebody, or somebody may be working very hard on wanting to be vulnerable with you, communicate with you. Be vulnerable. Like they tell you these deep things because of all this water energy here. But especially if they say not to share all these things, or they say something that doesn't need to be spoken about, you need to respect that. This could also be if you get information from someone, or somebody opens up their heart to you, because that's the Page of Cups. Someone's coming in with a love offer, a love message. Somebody's being very honest with you here. They could be telling you, being open and honest about their childhood issues, their childhood wounds, their abuse, okay? And you're like a counselor to them, or you're very understanding and nurturing, and they're sharing this with you, because especially if you're a counselor or you're a spiritual coach or something, that's the confidence thing. You keep it to yourself. Don't be going around and gossiping about stuff and telling everybody this person's business. And if you see people gossiping about other people's stuff, don't jump on that bandwagon. That is not coming from a place of Christ consciousness. Have some compassion. You may perceive it as there's something wrong, or whatever it is, but you really need to do your research, or like keep your mouth shut before you start saying something you have no knowledge about. It's like regurgitating information that you haven't looked up on your own, and you assuming things based off of what somebody said. But there is a big surprise, major life changes, belief systems crashing down, especially some of you when you're starting to learn more about people, whatever I've been talking about, and you start doing your research, you're gonna be shocked by what you learn before you start looking up things and assuming that what you're reading, you're researching on is straight truth, when you need to do a little bit more digging. So there's something shocking news is coming in, shocking information. This is also about you being shocked and awed by God with information you find, or something that you start learning. Or maybe you've already learned this and God's like, you know the truth now, but your truth, it's now time to change things up, and God's coming in to do that. So we're going to look into, I'm trying to remember what these cards are, because they want me to reshuffle this and see what needs to be revealed, what is being revealed. What is being revealed with this full moon in Sagittarius? Holy Spirit, Archangels, Galactic Families, Pleiadian, Sirians, please and thank you. Thank you for your wisdom, your guidance, your support, and your clarity. Wow. Jeez Louise. Did you see how that flipped out? Hold on. I'm going to put timestamps for these, because I was just told I got to put timestamps for this. 118. Hey, sweet pea.
How much longer you got here?
20 minutes.
Alright, good. I'm gonna take a shower.
Go ahead.
And then I'm gonna go to bed. So I'll say it right now.
Are you sure? I'll probably still be up.
I know. I'm just gonna take my shower and go to bed.
Okay, love.
So good night.
Night. Love you. See you tomorrow. Is this my birthday card? Aww. Thanks, Juju. Look. Look at that. You guys got to see a delivery. See? See, my kid. I got a message. I got a card. I'm writing down the timestamps for this stuff, guys, because this is going to help you, because it's a long one, but this is necessary. That's my mission. The Five of Wands is what is being revealed. Okay, are we gonna see this, Holy Spirit? Maybe, maybe not. You guys can see Five Wands here. Competition. Oh, back to the gossip thing. Okay, back to the gossip thing. Some of you may be afraid to pursue your dreams, to pursue those creative things, right? Creative power to manifest success and abundance in your life, make money off of it, because you're afraid that people are going to be gossiping about you. Oh my God, this person was an executive and they left their job. And they're a spiritual counselor. I'm getting myself in this because I'm not going to lie. I know that my family members have been gossiping about me and my kid because of the route that I've taken and the path that God has led both of us on. But I know what God is doing in my life and my son's. And God's making sure that I am there for my son, because he needs somebody to be very understanding, because I'm the one of the very few family members who gets my kid. He's a highly evolved kid, and he is sensitive to things. And I understand that because I am that way too. And we're both super brilliant. Okay, he's more brilliant than I am. So if you're thinking about pursuing a career that's of the arts or something, or you're being a psychic or an intuitive coach, okay, that is the Queen of Cups. Or you're tapping into something with music or whatever that creative thing is that you really, really want to do. You're afraid to do it, to learn about it, to start something new, to start a career over, right? Because you're afraid people are going to be gossiping about you. Do not give two shits. People start talking about your back, behind your back, especially if you were like an executive, you had a very high paying job, you were doing this job, and now you're doing something that seems completely opposite. And you're afraid of what people are going to chit chat about, what people are going to say. You got to have some balls and say, no, I'm going to pursue my dreams. I'm going to follow what God is telling me to do. I'm going to trust and follow my intuition, because I know God is leading me to abundance and success. And he will lead you there as long as you're following your heart and you're listening to your intuition, because that's how God speaks to us. And you're utilizing your creative talents. You're opening up your sacral chakra. It may not look like anything is successful to those other family members or friends or former coworkers. But that's because God is about to shock and awe not only you, but everybody around you, about the great success, the great abundance you're about to come into, because you stuck it out. You continued to do the work. Eight of Pentacles, you persevered, you were diligent and dedicated to your craft, to your work. You did your healing, you did your inner work, you did all these things. You worked very hard on a business. You stayed true to who you were, because you were in alignment with what God wanted you to be. And you didn't listen to everybody else's bullshit, because they haven't done their research. They haven't looked to God to better understand what it is that you chose to do. So some of you are afraid to do those things, especially if you're leaving the corporate world, you're leaving the 3D world behind to pursue something, because you're afraid of what people are going to say when you do. It does not matter, because if you are keeping yourself from your happiness and what you love to do, you are not living life. Okay? So, what's being revealed? Competition. And I said, some of you, you're afraid of the competition. Well, everybody else is doing this. The only competition is yourself. That's it. As long as you tap into your creative process and you do what is right for you, you do it the way you want to do it. And if it takes a long time, then so be it. The competition is nothing to you. There is healthy competition. You may look at like other people be like, well, they're being successful with that and I'm not, but let me take a creative spin on this. Let me do this differently. Let me tap in. Here's the Page of Cups again. Let me tap into my creativity. Let me follow that dream. I'm not going to give up on my dream just because I need to compete with other people who are doing something similar to me. I'm not going to not start this new thing because other people are doing it too. It doesn't matter. If your heart wants to do it, if God is leading you to that, you do it. God gave you a talent. He gave you an ability. Use it. You will have abundance in all forms. And for some of you, you're worried about the money thing. Get your head out of the money thing, because God is always going to supply your every need. And He will test you to see if you will continue to follow your dreams, continue to follow the creative process, to continue to trust in your intuition and your imagination. You could be a counselor, a psychic, an intuitive, a musician, whatever this is. Somebody doing something, creating something with your hands, making jewelry, making wreaths, like planning parties, like being an interior decorator, whatever this is. You do it, and do not get caught up in what everybody else is doing. Oh, everybody is. It's like when I got into doing this, so many people were doing this. And it's like, oh my God, when is this, when am I going to come into my, financial abundance? But God is testing me because I do things very, very differently compared to everybody else. God's like, I need you to trust in your intuition, follow your heart. I need you to stay the course. I need you to tap into your creativity and your imagination and do it the way I have asked you to do it. I'm speaking for God here. What's being revealed is you realizing, you know what? There is no competition. I'm my own competition. I'm going to challenge myself. 5 of Wands is a challenge card. And you're going to realize that you've also been afraid of the opposition, which comes with that gossip card. Afraid of the challenges and mountains you've got to climb and all that stuff to get to your success. But you will get there come hell or high water. And it will happen in divine timing. And God's going to see how far you're going to go. Are you going to stick with it with the 8 of Pentacles? Are you going to stay dedicated and diligent to what I have given you? Because 8 of Pentacles is also talents and abilities, and utilizing them to create something great, masterful. You're starting to realize that you may go through struggles and challenges, but it's building you up. It's making you more gifted. It's making you more psychic. It's making you more talented. And any opposition that comes your way, any difficulties, any struggles, any blocks, whatever, you're going to overcome them. And you're going to stay true to yourself and follow what you know is right for you. You're going to follow your heart and follow your dreams. I'm hearing romancing yourself, which sounds interesting, but that's what I heard. But again, you putting the competition out of your head and starting to really follow your heart. Do not be afraid of those things that you're imagining. I'm hearing Disney again, like Imagineers, right? They laughed at him. They thought, what are you doing? You got a mouse and a dog and whatever, and you're going to build this thing? But look what he created. he didn't let this get to him. It's a bunch of other people too. I'm hearing Elon Musk. Okay. If you can dream it, you can do it. And I'm getting angel bumps when I say that. If you had a childhood dream, a lifelong dream, go back to trying to work on that to make it a reality. If you've been called to do something new that you've never done, trust in that. Because God gave you the niggle. He gave you the call. And it's like, I need you to start this new thing. Yeah, this is going to be new for you. Yes, you have to learn something else all over again. But watch. Because I blessed you with these gifts, it's going to be easier for you to master. Because it's already innate within you. The other thing, and look, Page of Pentacles is now at the bottom of the deck. These cards are kind of repeating themselves with the exception of the Five of Wands. The opportunity. Some of you are going to be have opportunities presented to you. But you're going to be like, I don't know. I'm new at this. Can I do this? The answer is yes. The answer is yes. Doors are going to be opening that were once hidden here with this full moon. Full moons are about revealing things. This is your opportunity to start over. To start working on healing your inner child. To start doing what you love to do. To start following your dreams. And tapping more into the creative process. Your imagination runs wild, people. Use it to your advantage. A lot of you are very gifted with something. I'm also getting what's being revealed. I did say something earlier about somebody's going to be honest with you. They're going to be revealing their true emotions, their vulnerabilities, their insecurities. They're going to be very honest with you here. There is a letter. There is a message. There's a strong energy of like a love letter. Somebody hitting send is what I'm hearing. Someone's going to open their heart up to you. They want a new beginning in love. They want to move the connection up a level. And I'm going to talk more about what's being activated in the connections, like I said, based on your rising signs in my other full moon Sagittarius video. At least that's what they told me I should be doing. But we'll see if I get to that because it's super late already and I got birthday things to do. But we'll see how this goes. Anyway, what's being revealed for some of you, there's an apology. Someone's having that window of opportunity because Jupiter is bringing a lot of luck to this person, to this, whoever these people are, in contacting you, having an open, honest discussion. This is the opportunity to take because the chances of success are exceptionally high. So someone's going to come by. This is a new thing for them, and they're going to be shy. They're a little nervous, but they're going to come to you and they're going to send you this message, send you this letter, send you this note, tell you this however way. It's going to be done very creatively. Could be through a song they wrote you or a playlist or something or a poem. They wrote a book or something. There's like, I'm hearing, what's that word? Pedantic? I'm hearing hyperboles. I'm hearing haikus. Okay? Somebody's very, very creative. They're going to express how they feel. Again, sensitivity with the Page of Cups too, but in a very creative way. They're going to have an open, honest discussion with you in a very creative way. They're getting over this fear about when they tell you how they feel or they're apologizing for how they treated you, whatever this is. They're getting over the fear of like there being competition. They got to fight somebody else for you or something like that. They're following and trusting their intuition. So there's a big reveal for some of you about somebody's emotions, how they feel about you. And it's coming through some message in a creative way. I'm getting a strong energy of somebody writing you a song about how they feel or writing you a song where there's emotions being revealed to you along with like saying sorry or apologies in that song or this poem or whatever this is. This like creative letter. They're also going to be asking you, for some of you, can I have another chance at this? I was given the opportunity and I want to say yes to the opportunity you've given me for a second chance to start over, right? Because pages are about new beginnings. Misunderstandings are going to be cleared up. Misunderstandings are going to be revealed. There could be something about they were shy, they were fearful because they were like, oh my gosh, she's so hot. Like, there's so much competition that I have to deal with, and I don't want to deal with that. I'm afraid of that. I'm new at this. I'm not good at expressing my emotions. I'm not good at talking about how I feel. I can't compete with the other people who can do that. This person was really self-sabotaging themselves with this Five of Wands, beating themselves up. Why couldn't I express myself? Why couldn't I tell them? Why couldn't I tap into my creative abilities and express to them how I feel? Because somebody told them, you have to say I love you to this person, or you have to be communicative and be logical and do it the way everybody else does. No, this person does not operate that way. They do things very differently, and they express themselves that is more creative than expressing themselves the way everybody else does, because that person is not necessarily fully capable of doing that. They know there are very different ways to express love, to express their feelings, to express what's going on. It's like that More Than Words song by Extreme. Go listen to that if you don't know what that song is, or at least go reread the lyrics. There is a different way to express emotions, to follow your dreams, all of these things. Others of you, you're going to get very good news about like some new job opportunities, career opportunities. It's going to make you very happy. You're going to be able to tap into your creative talents, or there's something about maybe somebody's going to ask you because you're a very gifted psychic. You're going to have this opportunity to work with somebody, something like that. It's like these new offers, new beginnings are coming all over the place. Love's coming in. New job opportunities are coming in, money coming in, whatever. And this is also indicating that like people who you thought once were rooting for you or happy for you, there's going to be some sort of opposition with that. They're going to be like, wait, what? How did you get that job? How did you get that money? How did you, whatever. Who is this person who's talking about they want to move in with you, or you move in with them and you have kids and whatever. I don't know. There's a whole bunch of stuff coming through. I can channel for hours, guys. I think you guys know that. But, yeah, there's that. So take that how it resonates, everybody. Hold on, I'm looking at the cards that I have here. So we're now going to look into what are we mainly letting go of with this full moon in Sagittarius. Holy Spirit, Archangels, galactic families, Pleiadians, please and thank you. Thank you for your wisdom, your guidance, your support, and your clarity. Alrighty, what is the collective mainly letting go of with this full moon in Sagittarius? Well, I'm telling you guys, this full moon is huge. Look at all the cards that came out, and yes, they want me to take all the cards. And they want me to say this for those people who cannot be patient enough to get the guidance to work through the energies of this full moon, they're missing out. So 2 cards came out in the reverse, the Sun, happiness. distorted inner child, the wounded inner child. You are letting go of that. You are stopping the need to get a permission slip, or you giving permission slips to your kids. Again, if you're a parent, I cannot tell you how to parent, but I tell you what is needed to be heard as opposed to what wants to be heard. I always ask my guides and angels to speak truth and nothing but. This sun is truth. Illumination. This is the truth of God. This is the light of truth here. And it came out in the reverse. What needs to be let go for some of you are the permission slips. You don't need a permission slip to be happy. And neither do your children. This is letting go of being pessimistic. Some of you are not getting enough sun. Some of you are not playing enough. I talked about that with the dolphins we were seeing. Being playful, having fun. Tapping into your inner child. This is letting go of you suppressing this. The Sun card says the word happiness there. What did I say? Some of you, you're not following what makes you happy. The big thing that we need to achieve here this lifetime is to find true peace and happiness, the pursuit of happiness. And if you live in the United States, that was part of what our forefathers were talking about. I think that was Jefferson, right? Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. They did not say the pursuit of money. They did not say the pursuit of power. They did not say the pursuit of love. To be happy, to have the freedom to be happy, not to have a permission slip to be happy. It's like when you go to work and you have to ask your boss, can I go on vacation so I can have some downtime and have some fun? Like, you see what the 3D world does this? We need permission to take off and to go have some fun and go on a vacation. This is not how God intended for us to live. That's bullshit. They are restricting your freedoms when you have a 9-to-5 job and you gotta put in, do you have enough days off? Can you take off during this time? It's ridiculous. God doesn't restrict us from our happiness, so why should we be in a society, in a job that does that? It's not in alignment with who God wants us to be and how He wants us to live our lives. Passion, the Queen of Wands. Okay? But she came out in the reverse. This is trying to control everyone and everything. Some of you need to release control. I just heard somebody's not being respectful of other people's kids. You're trying to control other people's lives or other people's kids. Be very careful with that. The universe doesn't like it when people want to have excessive control. You will add more karma to your life and your life will get a lot more difficult. You'll stay in these never-ending cycles if that's being done. Or you're dealing with somebody who's trying to control your every move or to control your life. You cannot be allowing somebody to control you. This is the person who says it's my way or the highway. It can only be done this way and the way I want it to be done. Absolutely not. Again, having compassion, letting somebody do it the way that what brings them happiness. What works for you does not work for that person, and what works for that person does not work for you. It will not always work that way. You can have commonalities and similarities, but you can't dictate how someone else should live their life. You can't dictate what their kid's supposed to do either. Right? And I know I talked about, I can't tell you how to parent. You guys got to take this guidance and you take it back to God and you reflect on it and you do your research and you decide for yourself whether it works for you or not. But you are here for a reason. Again, I'm being told to tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. Truth comes out in every reading that I do. I am a warrior of light and of truth here. So some of you need to let go of trying to control everything in your life, trying to overly domineer your children, other people's children, other people's lives. You have no jurisdiction in that. Everyone's got a different path. Everyone has a different journey. And you can't judge them either. And if you're dealing with people who try to do that to you, you got to stand up to these people. And with the passion thing, some of you are overly passionate. There's got to be some sort of like middle ground there. You can be passionate about something, but when it leads to anger and a temperament and your Five of Wands, tempers are flaring, you arguing with people, you're fighting with people, that's where you got to tone it down a bit. There's something about defensiveness here. But everyone is entitled. They're allowed to be passionate about your dreams, about your goals. That's like Leo energy. You have the power to create the life that you want, and nobody can tell you any different. You have the Magician's wand in your hand. She is the one who has the ability to manifest helpful people. She has the ability to manifest amazing things into her life. She's on point with her creativity, and she follows what she loves to do, what lights her up, what sparks her. She's an excellent leader, an excellent counselor. She knows how to walk the walk, talk the talk. She has a brilliant light, and she's very charismatic, and people are drawn to her like a moth to a flame. There is also something about being very, very attractive. Now, for those of you who feel like you need to be attractive to follow your dreams, or you need to look a certain way to do a certain job, or whatever this is, stop with that. It's like when people want to become a model. Oh, you need to be a size 0. Oh, you need to be 5'11" if you're a female and 6'1" if you're a male. Oh, you need to have this physique. Oh, you have to have these credentials. Who? That's crap. Okay? Looks have nothing to do with your dreams, first of all. But you have to understand you have all the power to manifest the life that you want, and the power to bring abundance into your life, as well as to manifest your heart's desires. Okay. 5 of Swords, conflict. Okay. 5 of Swords. Defensiveness. Maybe you get a little bit sensitive, and then that turns around and you get defensive. Because you don't want people to see you cry, to see you kind of fall a little bit, to see you be vulnerable. You don't want people to get into your heart space, to get down to the depths of your soul. And some of you may like get all temperamental and try to control your emotions too much when you need to let them out, or you're trying to control other people, other things, to keep yourself from being vulnerable. There's something about avoiding conflict. Again, defensiveness. Some of you either have a very pessimistic view of life, of the world, or you're surrounding yourself with people who do that. Make sure you block your energies if you're surrounding yourself with people who think that way. Again, there's like no right or wrong here, but it's coming from a lower vibrational place. Anger is low vibrational. It is a human emotion, but if someone continuously gets into defense mode, who throws temper tantrums, and it's just like, no, it's my way or the highway, whatever. I have to do what I want, and you can't do anything. It has to be done my way. I'm not allowing you to speak. I'm not allowing you to bring your opinions or to have the tap into the creative process, if you will. Some of you could get defensive with that, or you're dealing with people who are very defensive. Again, have compassion for yourself and for others if this is you or you're dealing with somebody like this, okay? This is being a doormat. This is also letting go of the need to be right and the need to have the last word, the need to win at all costs. The swords need to be dropped if that is you. Some of you need to learn how to take the high road. Because if you continuously find yourself in conflict and arguments, hurt people, have compassion for those people because they're dealing with battles and challenges you know nothing about. If you're the one who's hurting people because you don't have compassion, or you've got some internal battles and struggles that you're not dealing with, you've got to work on that. 4 Cups, boredom. This is discontentment with life. This is Debbie Downer issues. This is like nothing magical happens in my life. My job sucks. My life sucks. So because my life sucks and everything is not working out for me, I'm going to make sure everybody's life sucks too. No. You can't be going around doing that. You're stripping other people of their joy. The sun here is also joy, optimism, positivity, and bliss. If you're not happy, you're ultimately responsible for finding your happiness. Let go of you being disappointed with not getting what you want at the time you want it. Let go of you sitting there, nothing ever goes my way. I'm in this job and I hate it, but I have to pay the bills, or I want this relationship and it's not happening right now, blah, 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 blah. You got to find the magic in your own life. You could be tired. You could be weary. That opportunity is not being presented to you. But it's like, are you tapping into the creative process? Or are you trusting in your intuition and you're just waiting for the manifestation to happen in divine timing or whatever this is? Are you finding the magic in yourself, in your own life? Are you pursuing your happiness? This is being despondent. This is you not going after what you want, not seizing the day, not having zest for life, not going out to explore and see what other opportunities are out there for you to try new things. Dolphin is there again. There's depression here. This is sulking. This is saying life sucks. Life doesn't suck, everybody. You're the one who makes it suck. You're being encouraged to start finding the magic in your own life, and even through situations where, like, yeah, that's not what I expected, God, but I'm still going to find happiness regardless. It's like some of you get something that you don't want, or you pray for something and it comes to you differently, and you're just like not getting what it is you're praying for, you're working towards. You really got to see the different perspective here and see the silver lining in this. God's trying to see if you will still find happiness when things don't go your way. When you have an opportunity presented to you and it's not the one that you wanted, but there is still a blessing in it. Ace of Swords, victory. Okay. shark. El tiburón, right? Let go of the confusion. Let go of not, it's like, again, divine intelligence. It's an ace. Let go of you overthinking things and thinking that everything's going to be a challenge. I can't do that because it's going to be challenging. I can't do that because it's complicated. Excuse me. This is speaking your truth and understanding that you will have victory in whatever it is that you pursue as long as you're following your path of truth. You're being true to yourself. You're utilizing that Ace of Swords to cut out what doesn't serve you. I'm hearing letting go of being misinformed. Or, again, that's what I said. Some of you, you're being encouraged to look up information before you judge or you gossip about it. This is getting clarity. I'm hearing it again, letting go needed to be right. This is focus. Some of you have lost focus on what is right for you and what brings you happiness. And what brings you happiness is not going to be what brings other people happiness. I just heard you got to get it right in the head. That's what came through. I also just heard let go of not speaking up, of not communicating your truth, of clearing the air, a clean slate. Five of Pentacles, abandonment. Some of you still have abandonment issues. You were abandoned by a father, a mother, grandparent. Maybe there was a lot of loss in your life because this is loss, Five of Pentacles. This is like letting go of the abandonment issues. There is something about childhood wounds that some of you need to clear. This is your perceived beliefs about money, that you need money to live, you need money to survive, you need money to be happy. No, you don't. I'm living proof of that. When you can be happy as a lark and you've got 2 cents to your name for several weeks, that's power right there. That's wisdom right there. That's strength right there. And you're still doing things you love to do, and you're not worried about the money, you got it made. You did some serious work on yourself. Let go of victimhood, of the pity parties, the woe is me. I'm not getting what I want, so I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to sit here and sulk and complain about it. I'm going to make myself, I'm a victim. This is bad luck right here. I always have a cloud over my head. Nothing ever works for me. You keep thinking that, that's what you continue to attract. If you keep thinking, I'm broke, guess what you're putting out into the universe? Oh, they're saying they're broke? Okay, we won't give them anything. I'm being left out in the cold. I'm being rejected all the time. So I'm going to stop what I'm doing. I'm going to stop building my business. I'm going to stop doing my mission work because I'm not getting the clientele. I'm not getting the financial support. I'm not making money off of this. It's like everything that I try, it doesn't work out. So I'm going to stop doing this. No, you give up on yourself. You give up on everything you work so hard for. Stop beating yourself up for it. And stop allowing others to tell you like, oh, you should give up, or this is not making money, or this is whatever, nothing's happening. A lot of things are happening. For some of you, you're going to be blown out of the water with that Tower card with regards to the money you're going to be receiving, the abundance you're going to be receiving. So this is letting go of abandonment issues. Focusing on being rejected. Rejection's protection, everybody. If God's rejecting something in your life, it's for a very good reason. Why? Because it wasn't part of the plan he has for you. It's thy will be done. God's will be done. Not yours, not mine, not anybody else's. It's God's. If he's keeping you from something, if he's rejecting you from something, it's because it's not for you. It's not for your highest good. Letting go of feeling like you're not worthy, you're not deserving, that you're not good enough. You're always more than enough. So start telling that to yourself. I just heard others of you, there's some big blessing that's coming out of nowhere. With this 4 of Cups and 5 of Pentacles, you're coming out of the woods. This is a wilderness season for some of you. If you're still in a wilderness season, hang tight. You got to see the lessons learned in this. But some of you are coming out of this wilderness season. The Hangman, Pisces, again. Limbo. I'm stuck, or I'm going to be stuck if I pursue my dreams. I don't know where the money's going to come from. I don't know this, and this. What did I say about gaining a perspective? Look at this differently. Being in limbo. I'm just going to hang around here because I'm not sure what to do. I don't know. I'm confused. I got clouded judgment. People are saying don't do this, but my heart's saying to do it anyway. You got to be trusting your gut. This is moving yourself away from the chaos, the 5 of Wands, to get you to recalibrate, get you to a meditative state and go to God and say, God, can you enlighten me here? Can you help me look at the bigger picture? Can you help me look at this from a different point of view? Help me to better understand with your divine wisdom, God, to better understand the situation, my life, what it is I want to pursue, what's going on with other people, whatever this is for you. This is also about releasing the outcome for something. You're surrendering, you're trusting in God, letting go and letting God say, okay, God, thy will be done. Like, I don't quite understand this, what I'm doing or what's going on, but I have to not get into the mentality that I'm stuck all the time, because it may look like you're so-called stuck in the physical. It does not mean you're stuck. Your mentality thinks that you are when you are not. You can, have your hands go touch that rope or whatever that is, and you can loosen the rope here. Let go of it. It's not like you're under lock and key or anything like that. Just because you don't see anything in the physical doesn't mean that things are going on behind the scenes. Okay. Letting go. You need to let go and let God. Let go of what doesn't serve you. Let go of those false beliefs. Let go of the need to control, to be right. They need to have a permission slip. And then the Knight of Swords, let go of fear. Anxiety is a demonic spirit, so is fear, so is stress. The human body was not built for these things, ladies and gentlemen. That's the devil trying to trap you, trying to make you feel stuck. Oh, you can't do that. It's going to be too stressful. You can't do that because that's not going to work out. And blah, 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 blah. No. This is what the devil does, tries to get into your head. You're overthinking worst case scenarios, self-fulfilling prophecies. You can't sleep at night because it's like, I don't think I can do this. I don't know. I'm worried about this, whatever. that worry gets projected out to the universe, and you attract more of that into your life, more fear, more negative things, more things that don't serve you. You can't be fearful of this. Some of you, you have like anxiety. You're very afraid to take action on things or to trust your intuition. You're afraid of things going wrong. Again, it's worst case scenarios. If you continue to be in that fear and that worry and stressing out, and you keep thinking about it and thinking about it, thinking about it, it's not going to work out. It's the worst, the worst, the worst, the worst. Doom and gloom. It's going to go wrong. It will go wrong if you exacerbate that. If this is like your programming and you think about this all day, every day. So if you're experiencing a lot of anxiety or a lot of stress in your life, you're actually manifesting the stress. You're manifesting the things, the challenges, the obstacles, because your brain is focused too much on that stuff. You've got to find peace in your life. And you find peace in your life and no stress, no anxiety, just like how I'm living right now, when you let go and you let God. This is also a card of being in the flow. I release all outcomes to God, the universe. I release all fears, worries, anxieties, uncertainties, despair, hopelessness. It's never going to work out for me. That is going with the wind. And you are just like, somebody likes watching Gone with the Wind. And you're going to be like, okay, God, you take over my life. Thy will be done. Because God is not going to put you in a compromising position. The devil does. And you may look like you're in a compromising position because you may think you're stuck, but you really aren't. God may be having you in a pause state, in a waiting game, because he's doing something big. We saw the tower. The opportunities coming in, the messages coming in, the new beginnings coming in. And God's putting you in a state of rest and a state of pause. Because when you let go and let God, especially if you've done a lot of work on yourself, you stop worrying, getting anxious, stressing out, having fear over everything, and God sees you've obliterated this, and God's like, okay, I need you to rest, I need you to take it easy here, and just be. Because now I'm coming in to take over, to make your manifestations a success, or for your desires to come into the physical. And this is a card of abundance too, new beginnings. There are some of you who are coming out of the wilderness season, coming out of the woods. Things are looking up with your finances too. If you're dealing with financial hardships right now, let God take care of it. But you can't be in a lower energy because you will not call in a change in finances. Like I said, you still got to be happy even when you're going through the financial hardships. When God sees you can do that, oh my God, the blessings are huge. Knight of Pentacles. Loyalty. Look at all this green. Talking about the heart chakra, right? Knight of Pentacles. Okay. The overall stubbornness, not finishing things. Lack of foresight, lack of diligence, lack of stamina. Speed is what I heard. It's too slow. Letting go of the need to go fast. What did I say about Sagittarius energy? Slow down. You will get there. Set the goals and take things one day at a time. There's no need to rush this. Because if you rush, you will make mistakes and you will continuously repeat the same lessons over and over again, which is what some of you might be doing with this Nine of Swords. Being more patient, just going with the flow. Okay, you know what? I'm going to take my time. I'm not going to be rushing because I'm afraid I'll run out of time, or I won't get there, I won't achieve my goals, I won't have the money, whatever this is, you're letting it go. And with this card, with loyalty, this is also telling me that for some of you, it's like you've lost all trust in yourself and other people. Maybe people are being loyal to you and you're not being loyal to them. This is letting go of worrying that something may take too long to manifest, or it's going to take too long to learn, or it's going to take too long to get somewhere. And you're like, I'm going to put in all this work and it's going to fail. I'm going to put in all this work, I'm not going to get anywhere. That's also a lie. That's the devil telling you that. Because it's taking too long. I've been doing this for years, or you know somebody who's been doing something for years. It's like, but if you're dealing with a Nine of Pentacles, or if this is you, and you're very dedicated, very diligent to your craft, to your projects, to your business, you know you're going to be successful in divine timing. You know that God's pruning you, grooming you, evolving you, exalting you in the process. You're making sure that your health is intact as well. You go out in nature to make sure you're calibrated. Very healthy. And you're saying, you know what, God, I'm going to continue doing this. I'm going to continue focusing on my goals one day at a time because I know I'm going to get there. I'm not rushing because I'll screw something up. There's also God telling you, like, I need you to have patience because I need you to really understand something big here. Oh my God. All right. So we're going to look into what is being healed when we let go of all these things. For some of you, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 things to release. Not include this, the 10. 10's about endings and new beginnings. Endings, really. 9. A cycle needs to end. Or a cycle phase is about to end. And apparently for some of you, God is coming in to end it because some of you didn't end it yourselves. Now, this could be pertain to all of you with what you need to let go of. And again, some of you got to stop dealing with people who try to control you, try to control your life and try to interfere with your joy and your happiness. No, no, and no. They go live their lives. If they want to have pity parties and be all pissed off about shit, let them be pissed off. Don't let that affect you. Others of you, this is only, some of these things only pertain to you. This is a collective reading. This is why there's a lot there. Excuse me. Hold on, I got to get some more tea here. Okay, and I just got tea everywhere somehow. Okie dokie. That was bizarre. All right. What is going to be healed when we let all of this go? There's something about you lost all trust in someone or something in yourself. There's trustworthiness issues. Or somebody was too slow at something. Who said that you were supposed to dictate how slow somebody was at doing something? If God said something needed to happen, then that's on God's time, not yours. It's like somebody really wants to get things done real fast. Why do you need to do that? What is being healed when we let go of all of these things that this collective needs to let go of? Holy Spirit, Jesus, Mary Magdalene, Mother Mary. Please and thank you. Thank you for your wisdom, your guidance, your support, and your clarity. Just being healed. Oh. Jasmine attracts desire and spiritual love. So jasmine, that's funny because I used this essential oil in my diffuser when I did the Divine Masculine letter reading. This essential oil, if you put it in a lotion or put it in a diffuser, is going to help you attract desire, spiritual love. Remember I talked about attracting your desires. You got to let go of either one of these things or a few of these things or all of these things. There's also the stubbornness and the need for things to move faster than their natural pace. When you let go of these things start to come more into your life. Bottom of the deck is time. Promotes forgiveness and offers release. Oh, you're done? Okay. All right, love. See you in the morning. See, I said 20 minutes. I'm like, I knew it was not going to finish in 20 minutes. See, what I said about patience, if you guys are still here, if you can't have patience with things, even with guidance like this, you're going to have a hard time having patience to attract what it is that you desire and to have unconditional love, to have true love in your life. God is not going to give that to anybody who's impatient because it's according to God's will, right? Promotes forgiveness and offers release. You could use time in your cooking and some sort of pill, the lotion and diffuser, okay? Time, look where we are and what we've been through. That's a Backstreet Boys song called Time, even though it's not spelled that way. See, offers release, letting go. There's a lot that needs to be released, and forgiveness is part of this. Forgiveness has been an issue in so many of my readings for the past few years that I've been doing this. The art of forgiveness is something that is granted to people when they can achieve this. And the rewards are magnanimous when the people, there are those who promote forgiveness, but who also forgive themselves and they forgive others. That is a true divine feminine Christ, divine masculine Christ. So these essential oils, jasmine and thyme, will help you with this healing. It will help you to let go of these things. But as I said, when you let go of this, you're going to attract higher vibrational things. And when you forgive and you release, you let go of the need to be right, you let go of the past, you let go of something about not being able to trust somebody or whatever that is, or somebody being too slow. Watch what God does in your life. Now we have final guidance for this full moon in Sagittarius. Holy Spirit, Archangels, galactic families, planets, Sirius, please reveal to us the highest good. With regards to the This full moon Sagittarius, what is the final guidance for this collective? Holy Spirit, Archangels, Galactic Families, Pleiadian Syrians, please and thank you. Thank you for your wisdom, your guidance, your support, and your clarity. Hold on, they want me to, I forgot to jot down the timestamps, 219. Oh, that's interesting. An hour later from the, what needs to be revealed? Okay. What is the final guidance for the collective with this full moon Sagittarius? Excuse me. My throat chakra's being affected here. Somebody doesn't want me to finish this. It ain't happening. What is the final guidance for the collective, Holy Spirit? Wow. What did I say at the beginning of the reading? Be honest with yourself, guys. Are you really happy? Are you really pursuing happiness? Do you know that you're trying to control everyone and everything? Is your life in shambles? Is your life not peaceful? It's not harmonious. It's not happy. Some of you know that it's not. And it's time to change something about this. I say this a lot in my readings. You need to be honest with yourself and your situation. Right? Because for others of you, there's money coming in. There's a new beginnings and abundance, and you're manifesting some amazing things, and you overcame so many obstacles and challenges and things you know you weren't happy about that you asked for, you didn't necessarily get, but you saw the truth in it, and you God told you to rest, God told you to pause, to take it easy, let me do the rest of my work, and you allowed that. It's a breakthrough with the Ace of Swords. There's no more hardships. Some of you, you're not in alignment with it yet. That's okay, but now's the time to start working on getting into alignment. Expect an overflow of abundance. This is very interesting. Because some of you may have been watching other full moon Sagittarius readings, and there's like abundance coming in. There's a lot of wonderful things coming in, because Jupiter is at the forefront of all of this with these transits. But if you're not in alignment with what Jupiter is bringing, if you haven't done your work, if you haven't learned your lessons, if you are still pessimistic and angry and temperamental and controlling things, you're still suffering from an anxiety, fear, worry, uncertainty, despair, hopelessness, nothing goes right, nothing's ever going to go right, you're not in alignment with what Jupiter is about to bring in. That's just the truth. God wants you to be at complete peace. He wants you to be in your integrity, in your truth. He wants you to be going with the flow and to remain optimistic as often as possible. He wants you to find the magic in life. God doesn't want you to feel like a victim, and He knows you've been rejected. He knows you've been abandoned. He knows that you've been in the wilderness, and He knows you've been through financial hardships for a long time for some of you. But if you're not happy and you're cursing God out and you're freaking about money and your finances and paying your bills and stuff, you're not trusting in God. You're not letting God do His work. When you let God step in, and you're at peace, and you're in calibrate, and you're enlightened, you understand why you're going through the hardships, you understand why you went through what you went through, you're gaining wisdom from that. Then God comes in to give you the overflow of abundance. Abundance is here twice, which is why they told me to keep the sacral chakra out. Those of you who've been tapping to your creative talents, you trusted your intuition, you've been healing, doing the emotional healing, the inner child healing, you're going to receive abundance in all forms, and abundance is there again. Love, your desires, money, amazing opportunities in careers, like all these offers coming in. Your worry is unnecessary. This keeps coming up. Doors are opening up for you. Your manifestation is super close for those of you who are in alignment. Some of you were being honest with yourself and you were speaking your truth to others. You are being honest with yourself and the rest of the world. For those of you who've been doing this, you're going to be exceptionally rewarded with the overflow of abundance. Pray more. Don't go to tarot all the time. Don't even go to my videos all the time. And I know that's kind of crazy to say that, but that's what they want me to say. You pray first, but first pray. Go to God first for everything. And then you can watch these readings. Then you can consult a psychic or a counselor or whatever. I know during my awakening process, I was doing more of this. And that's how I built a really strong relationship with God. That's how I was able to get to a state of flow. And I stopped having stress, anxiety, worry, freakouts, whatever. And I didn't have panic attacks, but there was a lot going on, especially when I became a single parent. I stopped worrying. I stopped stressing out. When I fully realized, when I prayed more, God's in control. The universe has my back. God has my back. The archangels have my back. I'm supported. I'm protected. I just got to do my part so God and my angels and my team can do theirs. I don't worry about money anymore. I don't worry about like where my business is taking me. I don't worry about, and sometimes it creeps in, trust me, because the devil wants me to go back to that. And I know I got to put the kibosh to it. It's been really crazy with the spiritual attacks this week, guys, with my brain. The devil's really trying to keep me from something, and I know what that is. God has been working amazing miracles in my life for the past year, 2 years, especially the past few months. He's always come through clutch, always. So there's no need for me to worry about my future, about my children. Oh my God, I said it again. I have one kid right now, which is I'm already saying that I'm going to have more kids. I'm not worried about, because there's something about me being pregnant. I was told Jupiter is talking about pregnancy. Does talk about pregnancy, by the way. Sacral chakra, womb chakra is there too. There is a womb chakra. I'm not worried about my living situation. I'm not worried about anything. Because God has always come through. And when I start to worry or start to doubt, I pray to God. God, please clear this. Archangels, please remove this from my mind, body, and soul. Get me back to a state of peace, true peace and positivity and happiness. I do not want to be lowering my vibration and dimming my light and allowing the devil to overcome my brain and my emotions. But it's more so the brain. And then when the brain's overtaken by the devil, then your emotions are affected. All right. So there we have it. Wow. I was not expecting that. And I know that even with this reading, I'm being tested. So there's a lot here, guys, to unpack. There's a lot to process. But this is what needed to get out. And I'm the chosen one to do that. Because faster isn't better. Shorter readings don't mean that they're better. That they have more value. Long readings don't mean that they don't have value either. Patience is a virtue, and yes, that is totally cliche. I just heard, where are you holding yourself back, guys? And remember, this is a collective reading. If you're still here, congratulations. You are a trooper. I'm hearing you're going to be rewarded for watching this in its entirety. Please like this video. Illuminate the thumbs up button. Share it with friends, family, people who have autistic kids. Perhaps. If this is really resonating with you, I highly suggest that you like this video, share this, and you subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. Especially you've been watching a lot of my content. I would appreciate the support, because more messages like these, the truth has got to get out to more people. I can't do this alone. So those of you who are still here, leave a comment. Let me know what you may be struggling with. Let me know what you need clarity on. Let me know where you're being honest with yourself. Be vulnerable with all of YouTube. There's no shame in this. Let me know how this full moon is affecting you right now. I'll read the comments. I'll respond to them when I'm guided to do it. And again, if you would like a personal reading, you would like some coaching from me, you want to sign up for one of my awesome memberships. There's so many awesome benefits there. I kind of like revamped some of the membership tiers. I highly recommend you go to CapellaWellness.com and check out the Capella memberships to see what tickles your fancy. Because those memberships could really improve your wellness, your well-being, the way you look at the world, the way you look at things. It will get you to a life with less stress, less anxiety, less fear. Because if I am able to live a life without that Nine of Swords in my life, you can do the same. But it's a lot of work. I can guide you and I can give you the suggestions on how to get there. It's up to you to heed the guidance, to heed the advice, but it's also up to you to do the work. The awesome thing here is that you have the freedom, creativity to come up with your additional methods or your own methods on how to get to a level that I'm at, especially if we're trying to get to eliminating stress, worry, anxiety, the need to control. I provide the guidance, and you along the way will start to find things that only will be relevant to you in your journey. I am the messenger. I am the teacher. I am the coach. I'll cheer you on, but you got to do the majority of the work. All right? So if you're interested in personal reading or personal tarot package, or tarot packages have more than one reading and you save money there, I'm still offering my 10% off discount for the season of spring. It will expire June 21st when the solar solstice begins. So if you feel you would like some additional guidance, you want me to tap into your energies, or more so assist you with your specific personal situation, go to CapellaWellness.com, check out all the services that I offer. And there's different categories, by the way: twin flame readings, healing sessions, compatibility charts, that type of thing. Use the 10% coupon codes. The discount codes are in the description box. Okay. Any questions you may have, please let me know. All right, guys. That concludes your full moon Sagittarius session. Start getting ready to let go of a lot of things, guys. God needs you to do it. That concludes your reading. Thank you so very much for watching this video, for subscribing to this channel if you haven't already, and for illuminating that thumbs up button. I would greatly appreciate it. I wish you the best today and always. I send you so much love and compassion. And I hope I illuminated your well-being today. Again, this is Jess from Capella Wellness, starring out.